I'm Greg Byrne. I'm also in the School of Biological and Health Sciences, and I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about assessment calendars in general and a specific tool that I've been promoting in the College of Sciences and Health. So it's obviously very important to provide students with an accurate assessment calendar so that they can plan their studies. And it's a responsibility, in most cases, in my experience, of a year coordinator or in some cases a program chair who will put these together. And I've always found the task pretty onerous, and I wasn't very imaginative about how I did it, and I would just produce a Word document with a static list of dates and upload it to the students. And so I think, I thought we could do this better. So when I started to think about what a good assessment calendar would be, first of all, I think it should be collaborative. So I think that rather than the onus being on one lecturer to gather all those data and liaise back and forth with lecturers and amend it and upload it and so on, ideally lecturers should be able to come together and decide on what dates and what times they're doing assessments. Going back to something Zini said at the very beginning was the idea of transparency. So if you work on a collaborative calendar, you can see what your colleagues are doing. Not only can you see where the assessments are maybe grouping on the calendar, and that might be bad for the students, but you can also see the variety of assessments that are being used. So you can say, oh look, a lot of people are doing MCQs, a lot of people are doing case studies, maybe I should do something different. So transparency is very important. They should be easily accessible. So if you have a digital calendar that you can access from your own personal device, that would be ideal. And they should be live and updatable. So in other words, it's not some static document that goes out of date and must be updated frequently. Students should be able to know that updates happen also. And it should be detailed. So ideally you want to tell students the time, the place, the format of the assessment, how it's weighted, all in one place so they don't have to go looking for that information. So this is obviously useful for students to know what assessments are coming up. But also from a program point of view, if you have a full year-long program assessment calendar at the end of the year to reflect upon, when it comes to program reviews, for example, you can look and see, look, how do we assess? What's the variety of assessments that we use? Do they bunch up? Are they well distributed? All that information is available to you. And it would be a shame not to have it and be able to use it. So, I've recently developed an assessment calendar. Now, one of the other things that I've done is I've been surveying staff across the college to find out what is best practice, because some people have great examples of assessment calendars that are already out there. So I'm trying to take the best elements from people's calendars and put them together into one tool that I'm promoting. So because we use Google Docs frequently, I developed a Google Sheet that acts as an assessment calendar. And what we have here is a template calendar that's based on the TU Dublin academic calendar. So we can see the week numbers are the same, it's what we're used to, it should be familiar to students. You invite all the relevant lecturers to edit so they can add their own assessments. You have the students to view, so they can't change anything, okay, they can only see it. And the timetable can be accessed straight from your Google Drive, from a link that you share, or it can be bookmarked in your web browser. So there's lots of ways to get there. Another great thing about the sheet is you can set it that anytime somebody edits it, students automatically get an email. A change has been made, go and check. So that's a benefit as well. And as I said, the week numbers correspond to your academic calendar, so everything looks the same. So just to give you a brief look at some of the output, it's not particularly exciting looking, but so far we've had very good feedback about it. So if you look at this little section here, this is from the sheet, we see the academic week on the left-hand side here, corresponding to our TU Dublin calendar. We see, this is going into October, November. And for each assessment, we can see which module it is, what the weighting is overall, and what kind of assessment from a drop-down menu that can be edited and added to. We can also, with a little bit of simple color coding, we can say, we can color code modules so we can see where the module assessments are, biochemistry here and here, physiology here and here, and so on. So, my idea is to try and get as many people as possible to try this or something like this to make preparing an assessment calendar as easy as possible. Thus far, students like it. Students have told me they like it, especially if it's used at all stages of a program. So they know as they go through, this is where they expect to find their assessment details. Staff so far have said that they like it too. It's easy to get into, it's easy to edit. And if you find staff that don't necessarily want to engage with this, you can still do it the old-fashioned way. They can send you the information and you can very easily go in and update it yourself. So, My idea with this would be to make it as open source as possible. If anyone is interested in giving something like this a try, I'm happy to make people copies of this calendar to try with their own programs. I'd be very interested to hear how people get on. Or if people have better ideas, feel free to let me know about them. Thank you.